Alright, so here's my garage. Some assembly is required apparently. I thought they'd just ship it to me in one big box, but welcome to episode 4 of the Dream Garage build. As you can see, I finished backfilling and ended up with a total of about 300 yards of material. A mixture of rocky fill, sandy fill, and then this 3/4 minus. It's 3/4 stone with stone dust, and it packs down like concrete, super solid stuff. And we got a little bit of rain the other night, so that really settled things in quite nicely. You'll see I've got some marks here on the foundation. The red line indicates the finished floor height, and the blue line is 4 inches below that. So my floor is going to be anywhere between 6 and 4 inches depending on the area. I am gusseting it up in a couple of spots where I bring my boat in. My boat weighs about with the trailer and fuel, it's probably about 5,800 pounds, but that's a lot of weight, and it's only a single axle trailer. They're big 6,000 pound axles, so that I'm just thinking contact patch wise, I'm going a little bit thicker here because this is where the boat will be sitting, and I'm going a little thicker over here because this is where the lift will be sitting. And actually, once I'm done building the garage itself, I'm going to come back and scrape some of this out down through this area to lay in some additional grid and really make sure we have a solid pad to bolt the 2-post lift into. I cut a hole in the side of the garage, which works out real nicely for access, and built just a temporary ramp out of that stone so I can get my tools in and out easily without having to walk all the way around the garage. And that's very handy. Where's that switch? And set up power here. I've got my air line right there. Got my tools all ready to go. About as organized as I can get. And tomorrow the lumber arrives. Also another thing, great way to test the compaction is just parking this lift on there. So this lift weighs about 4,500 pounds, and the contact patch with these little tires, these are 16 by 5s, so a 5-inch contact patch. This does a better job at compacting than anything I own. I had my neighbor drive over with his F-250 diesel. This puts more ground pressure down than even a full-size truck like that. So by the time I'm done building the garage and rolling this thing around it, it's going to be super solid. Let's see what else. Started pulling off some of the exterior on the existing garage because the walls obviously are going to be bolting right up, well, not bolted, but going to be butting right up against this wall here. So these will all be 2x6s. I also went and added stone for a path all the way around the outside of the foundation. And that's so that I can use the scissor lift to do the exterior siding, to be able to drive the scissor lift all the way around it on both sides, so I can bring all my roofing materials up with the scissor lift. Get my cheapo not tractor supply. I always get these two mixed up. Harbor Freight, cheap little trailer, which is going to work out nicely to handle construction debris, and I can move that around easily now that I have my trail on the outside too. And yeah, I brought a ton of material in here. This really did drop off about 12 feet or so, right about here. So this is all new material, although the footer of the foundation, for the most part, is sitting on virgin ground, which is always good. But all of this stuff has been brought in or dragged up the hill. I'll walk down the other side here. So this little road is just temporary. This is just here for the construction, and it'll be here through the spring next year, because I'm not planning on siding this building until the spring, when I can strip the siding off everything and do it all in one shot. But once we're done with getting access around it, I can then take this kind of peak here and push it up so I can give some good frost protection to the foundation itself. this will slope down and then intercept the trail. Let me zoom in over there, that I cut to bring me out to the front of the yard, and then we'll just do a little bit of grass down to this area, and I'm thinking a fire pit out in that nice new area I have. As you can see, I got a massive pile of well, it's a mixture of brush, and there's some decent sized logs in there. So once we get the first good snowstorm on the ground and it's safe, I will spark that baby up, and we'll roast marshmallows from about 100 feet away, because that's a lot of brush to burn. But I will, let me take you down the trail that I cut using my BX for the most part, although I did use the excavator for some tree removal. I am not a professional tree feller by any stretch, but even I can do it when you have a excavator to put up against the tree. So a little rough in this area still, because I'm still working on it, and I'm cutting this slope, cut into the slope, so I can make a mowable slope here for no other reason other than I'm tired of the brush just encroaching in on the driveway and having to cut it back at least twice every year. It's amazing how fast that stuff grows. So this way I can finish this off. We'll drop some loom in here and make a nice little lawn out of it. And I don't know if you mow it I don't mind mowing it every week or every other week, but for some reason getting in there and cutting the brush with the poison ivy and everything else, I just can't stand that stuff. So let's go for a walk though. We'll take a walk down the trail, and you know what, I'll probably fast forward this so you guys don't get too bored. So as you see here, I had to put in a little bridge to get over a stream. This actually gets ripping pretty good. I've got two 6-inch lines, which is more than enough to handle when it's really flowing. But it's so low that if for some reason we had some massive torrential rainstorm, I wouldn't be too worried about it running over this, and if it washes it out, it washes it out. But I don't think that's like a 1 in 100 year type of flood. But that worked out nice, and all of this stone I already had because I had put in a pad a few years back when I got my boat, and I didn't want to bring it up the hill every time, because once I got up the top of the hill, I didn't really have any place to park it. So just stole some of the stone out of this pile to make that trail. But that's going to work out real nice. Gives me snowmobile access without having to go down the driveway and gouging the driveway up with the skis. I ended up ordering through Home Depot, which at this point I don't think I could recommend. They were, from a cost standpoint, my best option, but you get what you pay for sometimes in the service. And I am missing all kinds of stuff right now, so that is not good. They're supposed to give me a call back today, because I'm missing some key things, including the sheathing for the size of the garage. So like I should have another stack like this, about 60 some odd panels, but they couldn't apparently fit it on the truck. Now this truck, which by the way is already 4 days late, it was supposed to all be here beginning of the week. It is now Friday afternoon, and it is just getting here. So not impressed there. But as you see, I've got all my studs, 2x6x12s, about 120 of those there. I got some pieces of siding that they actually had in stock in the color that I needed. So you see bits and pieces of it mixed in, but the bulk of the siding had to be special ordered. That won't be in for another week and a half or two, but I've got a ton of siding obviously on the way. I've got some drip rails, got 2 rolls of Tyvek for the outside wrap. Got 2x10s for the garage headers. You'll see below that there's some treated 2x6s. That'll be what sits on the foundation itself, although I have a vapor barrier between the two. A bunch of 2x4s just for gusseting and getting the trusses up there. 2x6x16s for, what are these for? Top and bottom plates. And big old box of collated nails. They shorted me on one of my windows. Windows for a garage are very nice. For a house, you know, they're meh, whatever. They're basic double hung, double pane, 2-pane. What do you call it? Double pane? That doesn't sound right to me for some reason, but it is. 3 feet by 4 foot windows. So I was supposed to have 4 of these. I only got 3, so that's awesome. I've got 60 some odd panels of, let's see, what is this? It's almost 3/4 inch, just a hair under 3/4 inch. OSB, which I'm using as my roof sheathing, which is thicker than you would normally do, but my roof is going to be all trusses, and they're spaced 2 feet So with 2 foot spacing, I wanted something extra strong to ensure that I don't have any bowing in between my trusses. So that should take care of that. It's a subfloor material. And then I had them stash the roofing stuff down over on the side here, because obviously we're not going to need this for a little while. But I ended up going with JF Timberline HD shingles. It's a 50-year shingle, I believe. It's what I have just put on the house about 5 years ago. The whole house has that, so I was able to get that to match. I got enough storm guard, ice, and water shield to do the entire roof, so I won't have any worries there. I've got a couple of rolls. These are 20-footers, ridge vents. There's the foam water barrier, moisture barrier that will sit on top of the foundation wall and protect that treated wood. And that's about it. So should be getting a call back this afternoon. I need that OSB siding because I want to build my walls in 16-foot sections, and I want to put them all up completely done, so that I don't have to, nail the sheathing on afterwards. That's just a pain. It's really nice if you can just do it all on the ground. So hopefully they can get that out to me tonight. But my hope for that is dwindling because it's freaking Home Depot. But here we go. We're off to the races now. It's just a matter of putting these sticks together and getting the garage. Last night I did come out and use my handy dandy new scissor lift to oh, wait a minute. I don't think I told you about my handy dandy scissor lift. Check this baby out. I was going to rent one. They're about $1,000 a week for a big one like this. It's a 26-foot or a 25-foot lift, but it handles 1,000 pounds, which is twice what you would normally get with most of the smaller ones. So this is a big boy, 4,500 pounds. It's a tank. But I picked it up used. It had just been repainted. It didn't have any graphics. It looked really plain. It's an older lift, but it's in great shape. It works perfectly. So I had some graphics I made up for it, and I replaced the batteries. And the batteries are about $1,300, which I wasn't going to spend. So I got these Duracells. These are golf cart batteries. They're the same size, same specs. At Batteries Plus, what the heck did I pay? $330 for 4 of these monster. These things are 80 pounds a piece. They're awesome, and they work great. So that's $1,000 less than if you went and bought the quote-unquote commercial batteries, industrial ones. Now I don't know what the main differences are between the two, but I know they're $1,000 less. They work great. I haven't had to charge them yet, and I haven't really put a lot of work on them yet either. But just playing around with the lift, I found I enjoy to have a cocktail or two about 25 feet in the air as the sun's going down. It's a nice place to hang out. But this also has a 4-foot, I think a 4 or 6 foot extension. This platform hydraulically extends. It's partially out right now, so you can get in all kinds of places with this thing. It's pretty cool, and when I'm done, I'm going to sell it. So I bought it right, like really right, like a screaming deal. So instead of spending $1,000 and having a rush to get everything done with the lift within a week, which really wasn't going to happen, I would minimally have to rent a lift for 2 weeks. One, when I was getting my walls raised, most likely, and then 2, when I was doing the trusses, and then really probably 3 when I was doing the roof. So I would have been $3,000 in rentals alone. I got this lift for $2,700. Put $300 worth of batteries in it. I'm into it for $3,000, and I don't think I'll have any problem selling this when I'm done for probably $4,000. The way it works and the way it runs now. Yeah, with brand new batteries. I mean, come on. That's yeah, that's a good deal. So that's my latest toy. I've never had a scissor lift, but they always look like fun, and you know what? They are kind of fun. So yeah, I think that's it. Let's get to building some stuff. So this is the part where I show you how we frame things. But there's a slight problem. My father came up for the weekend, and over the course of just one weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we framed the entire place. So That's me with a bad back and my father who's in his early 60s. But man, we worked together really well, and we cranked this thing up in no time. I wasn't sure how long this was going to take, but if I had to bet, I wouldn't have said, 2 days for 2 people. But we did it in 2 days, and it is dead on straight. The trusses aren't really going to have to do much for spreading or pulling it in. The walls are like right on. Corners, everything came out perfect. Really happy with it, and amazed how fast it went. My lumber calculations were pretty much right on. The big stack you see of 2x4s, I thought I was going to have to brace this thing a lot more along the way, but the foundation was beautifully done, so that was super level and straight. I didn't have to do much for bracing. I've got 2 braces on this, one right there and one right there, and that's it. So I got a ton of extra 2x4s, but that's awesome. You use 2x4s for all kinds of things. So, and then I've got a little bit of extra on the treated 2x6s, which is okay because each one of these doors is going to take 2 of those each. Once the floor gets poured, they will sit here and here, double stacked on each side to get me down to the interior dimension I need on the door. And they come right down and they sit on the floor to act as additional support for that header. So that header will have a total of 4 2x6s on each side supporting it. And we'll do the exact same thing on the big door. So that's the 10x10. I will say that lift was a lifesaver. Allowed us to build everything on the ground, and got a couple of straps that hooked to the front of that. We would just pick the wall right up and drive it over to the place it needed to go, sit it right down on the studs that were coming out of the foundation, and good to go. The only thing that I have left to do here is finish this top window, changing the arrangement for the bracing to give it a little bit better support. All the other windows are done correctly, but that one was a little bit of a change in plan. So I got to fix that, and I have to finish tying in this corner to the house, just like this one is done here, and then I'll build the gable end. I'm going to build the gable end for this. Everything else will be trusses, but I knew this was going to be a custom one because of how it interacts with the house, so I only ordered 1 gable end from the truss company, which is obviously going to go on this side, and then 20 regular trusses will go back, 2 foot on center, and then I'm going to build my own gable end sort of thing that relies on the existing garage for a lot of that structure. And the trusses have been ordered. When I first talked to them, they were only a week out, and of course when I go to order them now, they are 5 weeks out. So that kind of sucks, but what also sucks is continuation of Home Depot in their wondrous sucky ways. I still don't have sheathing, as you see, and it is not on site. We are now over a week late, and countless broken promises, including ones that they would have it to me guaranteed by Saturday, and Saturday has come and gone, and no sheathing. Also shorted me on the windows, so life is good. But all said, really happy with where we're at right now, and now just kind of waiting on more materials to start the sheathing, and yeah, we're rocking right along. Welcome to my roomy orifice, and let's take a look real quick back at the video I posted up a few months ago here and remind you what this contest is about. I'm going to give away this Crime Stopper Security Plus. This is, I don't know which model this one is, but there are the model numbers right there. Brand new, just had it delivered, and it is for one of our subscribers. So hopefully that is you. So what I'm going to end up doing here is we are going to go up and control copy that YouTube channel, or URL rather, right into here, and I will hit the search button, and we will now hit the start button, and this is YouTube random comment picker or commentpicker.com that will scan the comment section and randomly choose one of the comments as our winner. So let me hit the start button, and it's doing its thing. Winner is BBQ Rando. Congratulations! So if that is you, please send me a PM. I'm going to try to figure out how to send you a PM as well. Also, check out my, you can go right to my Facebook, Trial and Error Facebook page. The link is in the description as well if you are BBQ Rando. I'm going to need some information on where you'd like that shipped to, and I will get that in the mail to you as soon as I have that information. So thank you all for commenting. I kind of like this contest thing, so if you do as well, I'm going to try to think of some other ideas here, and we'll mix these in with the regular content. But once again, thank you and congratulations to Mr. BBQ Rando and for the 2,200 subscribers plus that I now have. Really do appreciate all of your watching, commenting, positive reinforcement. I do very much appreciate all that. I hope I can return that in some ways in entertainment and knowledge. So as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.